This week, China announced a legal cooperation program under the Belt and Road Initiative. It's aimed at fostering improved business environments within the rule of law. Several African countries are beneficiaries of this ambitious project, which aims to revive the ancient silk trade routes connecting Asia with Africa and Europe. Now, here in Kenya, we recently marked 1 year since the Chinese-built standard gauge railway started operations. It is one of the key Belt and Road Initiative projects in East Africa. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi says the BRI legal dispute mechanism will cover arbitration and mediation of any cases linked to the initiative. China will also be providing legal training to countries involved. And for more on China's continued investment in Africa and the importance of infrastructure, earlier we spoke to Gershon Ikiara, a senior economics lecturer at the University of Nairobi, for his thoughts on China's footprint in Africa.
China, using some of its institutions like FOCAC, the forum in which China is dealing with very many, literally all African countries, and which they are able to discuss priorities, often which was not possible with many other donors. This has also been quite a facilitating factor. The Chinese Exim Bank has made it easier to borrow long term and start fairly mega projects, quite a number of mega projects, like the SGR in Kenya, the same thing in Ethiopia, in Angola, in quite a number of countries. And I think this has helped a lot. And the Chinese approach generally, involving both the private sector from China and the government-assisted projects, all these have been facilitating, and I think they have brought a new breath of optimism and energy. Yeah, I think it brings skill of management of major projects, both in stages of construction and management. And we have seen especially the speed at which many major projects are completed compared with how long it takes with some of the local companies. So I think the technical skills, management skills have been very, very key in this area. And also in terms of financing, the ease with which the loans are processed, compared with quite a number of other donors who sometimes it takes a long time for the project to take off from the time of initiation. We are already seeing some of the impact in some of the countries like Ethiopia, in Kenya, Angola. South Africa has been able to become a major economy, one of the leading economies in Africa, largely because of its infrastructure. If you remember also the US, the #1 economy in the world today, most of it was built on a very, very strong infrastructure. So Africa is benefiting in many ways in that it is able to get inputs cheaply. It is able also to export its products efficiently. And we expect that actually in the coming decade, Africa might be much more competitive because of the investment which have gone into infrastructure. And therefore, our very low participation and very low share of trade globally is expected to change dramatically because of this kind of infrastructure. One of the outstanding things that China has done here in the infrastructure, obviously, is the Belt and Road Initiative, an effort to revive the old Silk trade route that Chinese were using many years back. This is expected to link Africa with Asia, with Europe, and almost all other parts of the world. Therefore, Africa will be accessing markets all over, and its product will also be getting to all kinds of countries.
Well, as you heard there, China is enhancing its relations with the African continent in various ways. In fact, this week, for example, the Chinese government announced its plans to redefine its military engagement with Africa. We'll bring you more on these developments, though, as they unfold. Back to you, Erica.